Hey book huggers, I just got back from Portland and it was awesome. Last weekend I went to Portland, Oregon for a conference called the Young Adult Services Symposium, and it's put on by YALSA, which is Young Adult Library Services Association. So basically it's a ton of young adult / teen librarians in one place learning fun stuff and meeting fun authors. Can't really beat that. It's pretty awesome. I've gone to this conference before. Last year it was in Austin and I met some really amazing people, and so I was really excited to sort of hang out with those people again. And some colleagues of mine from my town and I actually presented at this conference, which was huge for me. It's a totally new thing, new experience. So that was all good times. And I was in Portland, which has one of the best bookstores in the world. And I also was surprised by another bookish store that I went into, and I've got some books that I hauled from all of these things. The conference, Powell's City of Books, and the other bookstore that I'm going to tell you about. So let's get started. Yay! I also have some footage that I took throughout my stay in Portland that I'm going to intersperse through here that I took on my iPhone. It's kind of my first venture into vlogging. Even though I didn't do a super job of it, I tried. Yay. So yeah, I got there pretty much a day before everybody else because I had some travel plans that got a little wonky, so I was there before any of my friends. So I did a little shopping, like you do. And actually I went into the Multnomah County Central Library, which is Portland's big central public library, because I've been past it before, but I've never been in it before. And I poked around there a little bit, and I also went into their Friends of the Public Library bookstore, which was kind of amazing. I mean, my library has a Friends of the Library bookstore, and it's awesome, and we love our Friends group. But the one in Portland was really awesome. It was very small. It wasn't like a huge bookstore or anything. They had a really amazing selection of books. And I did not go into that store thinking, I'm gonna buy some books today, but I sure enough did. Surprises. So my haul from the Multnomah Library bookstore was as follows. Hector and the Search for Happiness by Francois Lalorde. It's a book that I've looked at for a couple of years. I love the cover, it always catches my eye and I always think I'm gonna get it. And then I saw the movie with Simon Pegg and I loved it, so I picked it up, $4. The Vesuvius Club by Mark Gatiss of Doctor Who and Sherlock fame. It's kind of Oscar Wilde-y, they say, and I'm down for that. I didn't even know he had a book. It's a little bit yellowed, but sometimes getting old books like that are really cool. And it was also $4. Actually, I think all the books that I got there were only $4, which is why I got so many of them. I got Blind Willow Sleeping Woman by Haruki Murakami, and it's 24 short stories, and it's a Murakami book I haven't read, so that went in my stack. I got The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Amy Bender, which is about a girl who takes a bite of some birthday cake and discovers she has this magical ability. I have heard about this book and very excited to read it. And The Cuckoo's Calling, because I haven't read it yet, by Robert Galbraith / J.K. Rowling. It's kind of beaten up, but it's a $4 hardcover of a book by one of my favorite authors, so yeah, it came home with me. And finally, The Red House by Mark Haddon, the author of The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and it's autographed. So for $4 I got an autographed book, and I honestly I don't remember even hearing about this book, so it was such a surprise and it was so awesome. If you are ever in Portland, I highly recommend going to the library bookstore. They also had a great selection of gifty items, and I've been really obsessed with like the little paper post-it tabs that you can put in books as you go through and mark your places and stuff, but like the really cute ones. So they had a huge selection of them. So I got Alice in Wonderland ones, they had Romeo and Juliet ones, and hedgehogs. If you guys aren't aware of this, I'm obsessed with hedgehogs. I don't know, it's a thing. And octopi and whales and all kinds of stuff. I went a little bit crazy, but I've just recently become obsessed with them, so there you go. So it was a great store. Then later I went back up to my room, which had a fabulous view of Portland. Like at a conference, you never get a fabulous view, and I got a fabulous view. It was so nice. Later, after my friends started arriving, we went to Powell's City of Books, which I think I mentioned before a couple of times. It's a huge bookstore in Portland, Oregon. It's called the City of Books. It takes up a whole city block, and it is kind of amazing. What I realized this time, though, is that while it is an amazing bookstore, a wonderful bookstore, it's a little bit overwhelming because it is so big, and they actually remodeled since the last time I've been, so their bookshelves are even taller. It's so big and it's so expansive that I think I get a little intimidated by it. And so even though I have like lists of books to look for, it all gets to be a little too much, and I actually end up not buying as much there as I buy even at our tiny independent bookstore here in my town. Like I think I just get overwhelmed. There's so many books. And the other thing, I kind of like a cozy bookstore. I like a bookstore where you can go find like a sitting area and sit down and like look through your books and stuff. And they do have a cafe, but I don't know, it's just not as cozy as like, I guess I like my bookstores. Again, it's an amazing bookstore. I will never not go to Powell's when I'm in Portland, Oregon. It's usually the first stop for us when we go to Portland. But it was just interesting, my response to it this time. I was kind of like, oh, this is a little intimidating, and I think I just like being here, but I don't buy a lot of books. I did buy some books, however. I bought 3. I got Memories by Long Web. It's poetry, and I've seen this all over BookTube and Bookstagram, and first of all, the cover is awesome, but also the poetry looks fantastic, and I cannot wait to read that. Next, I got The Ables by Jeremy Scott, and it was so funny because I had just been to a school the week before I went to Portland, and there's a guy that I see at the school all the time, a teen, and he is very picky. He's very particular in what he reads. And this time he had a list of books that he was asking me if I'd read, and this was one of them. And so when I saw it at Powell's, I was super excited. Basically, it's about a boy who has telekinetic abilities, but he's also blind, and he needs the power of sight to move stuff, apparently. Anyway, it looks very interesting. And this guy talked about it forever, so I'm super excited to read it. And I picked up the first volume of Shudder by Joe Keating, Leila Del Duca, and I'm super excited to read it. I feel like I read part of the first issue when it first came out and got distracted, because I do, and I never got back to it, so I'm very excited. And then it turns out that Leila Del Duca was actually at our conference, so it's a very interesting coincidence. The next day I went to a half-day pre-conference on graphic novels and using them in your libraries. My library has a really amazing Comic-Con once a year that I've been involved with before, and it brings in thousands of people on one day into our library, which is really cool. So I like to go to these things and get, more ideas to use at our library. And this one was really awesome. Jean Lewin Yang was there, who wrote American Born Chinese and Boxers and Saints, and he has a new book coming out called Secret Coders, which is a really cool middle grade series that is a story, but it also teaches kids how to code. Leila Del Duca, like I said, Shudder was there. Faith Erin Hicks was there. She's written The Adventures of Superhero Girl and Nothing Can Possibly Go Wrong and Friends with Boys and several other graphic novels that are really awesome. And Mariko Tamaki, who wrote This One Summer with her cousin Jillian. That book was a Prince honor book and also a Caldecott honor book last year, which was a huge coup and very amazing. And a lot of us got to hang out with these awesome people after the panel and talk to them, and it was really great. And then my presentation was first thing on Saturday morning, and it was so great. I had never presented at a conference before. I was up there with 5 other people, thankfully, because I felt very supported. I've told some people that I feel like this kind of changed my life, and I really do feel like that. I think people at this conference were so kind and so encouraging, and I kind of want to present at other things now. it gave me a lot of confidence, and I am really grateful for that. A couple of other highlights of the conference were a panel that I attended on helping LGBTQIA teens transfer from high school to college. It was an amazing panel, and it included authors like David Levithan, who wrote Every Day, and Will Grayson with John Green, and several other books that I count as my favorite books, and Mariko Tamaki, and Susan Kuklin, who wrote Beyond Magenta. It's a book on transgender teens. And then there was something called the Author Book Blitz. And this happened last year in Austin too, and it's this really fun thing where they have this giant ballroom and they have all these authors set up at tables. And they gave us all 6 tickets, and we could exchange all of those tickets for a signed book from these authors. And you get to talk to the authors, and it's really, really fun and really amazing. And I got some footage of how crazy it is when you put 500 teen librarians in a room with young adult authors. It's crazy. It's crazy. Also, Laini Taylor, Daughter of Smoke and Bone. If you haven't read that series, you need to, but she's also super nice, and her hair is the pinkest pink you have ever seen in your life. I got lots of exciting things at the Book Blitz. Some of them are gifts for people, so I'm not going to show them here, but I also got The Nameless City, which is the first book in Faith Erin Hicks' new series, and it comes out in April 2016. So I'm excited about that. I got Saving Montgomery Soul, which is Mariko Tamaki's new book, and it also doesn't come out until April 2016, so that was sort of a coup. And I also got to meet Paige McKenzie and get her to sign The Haunting of Sunshine Girl, which I was super excited about. She was so nice, and she actually let me keep my ticket, so I got this book for free. Super nice. So that's pretty much it. That was my trip to Portland. I met some new amazing people. I got to reconnect with some awesome people that I've met before, and I had a really amazing experience presenting, which I've never been able to say before. So that was super fun. And I got some awesome hauls. So let me know in the comments if you've ever been to Portland and what your experience was like, and we can maybe fangirl over pals together. Thank you so much for watching. Bookish hugs and kisses, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Look at all my glary glasses. You guys don't get to see me with my glasses very often.